Be sure to catch Internet Mysteries weekdays on RatedEm.
The Call of Duty series has had numerous entries set in various time periods. The franchise has explored the Second World War, the Cold War, more modern settings, and has even looked into a future that doesn't exist yet with games like Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3. However, there have been games pitched to Activision for the series that would have seen some more unique settings for the series, but were all unfortunately cancelled before being revealed to the public. In today's episode of Game Graveyard, we're looking at these cancelled Call of Duty games. We'll start with the earliest cancelled game in the Call of Duty series, and that being Call of Duty Combined Forces. Not much is known about this one, but seeing as how it would have been a sequel to Finest Hour, it was most likely another World War II game. This game had a design document made, but it hasn't been released from my research. It was meant to be developed by Spark Unlimited, who developed Finest Hour, the first Call of Duty game for consoles. The game was turned down due to legal disputes between Activision and Spark Unlimited, and it was this game pitch and the disputes surrounding it that ultimately led to the two companies going separate ways. Moving on to another World War II game, Call of Duty Devil's Brigade was likely to be a campaign-only or possibly a spin-off game for the franchise. Devil's Brigade would have likely been similar to that Republic Commando Star Wars game where the player would have been able to direct their squad members with specific orders, such as assaulting a designated area or defending a certain zone. It was going to be set during the Second World War and primarily focus on the battles in Italy. In the screenshots, there's one of the player holding an AK, but this was likely just for testing and never meant to be in the main game. With that being said, the evident AK model in this game likely means that it would have been worked on after Call of Duty 4, so it's possible that this game was scrapped and replaced with or reworked into World at War. The final World War II game we'll discuss is Call of Duty Tactics, which was a top-down, third-person sort of RTS game. It looks like there would have been different types of characters to control. In the footage, it displays that a commander is using a satchel charge ability, so maybe the player would have controlled multiple characters each with different toolkits. This game would have been developed by Vicarious Visions, who is an Activision-owned studio that primarily worked on licensed games for movies and TV shows. The next game is one that's interested me for a long time, and it sucks that there isn't a whole lot of information on it, and no new information has come out about it over the many years that I've known about it, but Call of Duty Roman Wars was another game pitched by Vicarious Visions during 2008. It would have been a top-down hack-and-slash or beat-em-up game as opposed to a first-person perspective game. Players would have used swords, shields, and bows as a member of Julius Caesar's army. Fortunately, or maybe unfortunately, depending on how cool this sounds to you, the game pitch was never really taken seriously and was rejected very shortly after being brought up.
Need a new form of entertainment in your life? Join the thousands of others who have considered subscribing. Side effects may include joy, laughter, and newfound knowledge about video games. Talk to your doctor about if subscribing is right for you.
You're watching RatedEm. Don't touch that remote.
The next two games, especially the last one we'll discuss, have a bit more information on them than the first few. The first one I'll bring up is Call of Duty Vietnam. This was going to be the first ever third-person only COD game, and a pitch was being worked on by Sledgehammer Games. There was some concept art and even supposedly 15 minutes of gameplay made for the pitch. It would have been set in 60s and 70s Cambodia and Vietnam, and as mentioned earlier, it was supposed to be the first third-person only Call of Duty title. However, while the pitch was being worked on, Activision requested Sledgehammer to help out on Modern Warfare 3, which took attention away from the pitch and moved it on over to help finish that year's Call of Duty title. After MW3's release, Activision was so impressed by Sledgehammer's work on the game that they decided to let them develop Advanced Warfare. This would ultimately kill the Vietnam project, as there wasn't a whole lot of time to dedicate to what was ultimately a passion project. The final game we'll discuss in this video is one that actually has quite a lot of information on it. Call of Duty Future Warfare was a game in development by Tony Hawk and Guitar Hero developers Neversoft, and was going to be the first of many COD games by them. The game was internally referred to as NX1, which alludes to the idea that Neversoft was going to join Treyarch and Infinity Ward as a standard COD development team. For context, Call of Duty games are referred to by the development team's initials alongside which numbered game in their catalog it'll be. For example, IW4 refers to Modern Warfare 2. Future Warfare was supposed to be the first quote-unquote futuristic Call of Duty before Advanced Warfare ultimately took that title. I mean, you could attribute it to Black Ops 2, but that's neither here nor there. The game was set 50 years into the future and featured multiple fictitious factions at war. These included the Eastern Coalition and the People's Liberation Army. It had fictitious weapons as well, similar to Advanced Warfare. In the recent few years, a development build of this game leaked online through a discovered Xbox 360 dev kit. Gameplay leaked online showcasing a campaign mission as well as some multiplayer maps and all the weapons that were available in that build. It appears to have been built upon the Infinity Ward engine rather than the Treyarch one or an original engine. So that was a comprehensive recollection of cancelled Call of Duty games. If you want to check out more videos about cancelled video games, be sure to check out the playlist of all other Game Graveyard episodes right here on the RatedEm channel.